Wednesday morning at Shanklin C of E Primary School on the Isle of Wight, and the emergency supply teacher's been summoned at short notice. Mary Jackson began teaching in Croydon just after the war. Since then, she's worked in a variety of schools, from early years to secondary, in a career spanning more than 60 years. Now in her 80s, she's called in to cover several times a month.
Right, children, can you all look at me? Nice smiling faces. Right, because we're going to do the register first. You all know my name, don't you? I'm Mrs. Jackson. Yes, that's right. Nathan.
Good morning, Mrs. Jackson.
Right. Sullivan.
Good morning, Mrs.
Right.
Jackson. Mrs. Jackson.
And good morning.
Mary is one of the most energetic, lively people I could ever introduce you to. She comes into the school and she's a breath of fresh air. Everybody's feeling tired and run down or whatever, and Mary will come in and she's got a big smile and she's full of energy and she jumps around the school and she challenges you about this, that and everything. She's just a joy to have in the school.
I started in 1944 when all the men were coming back from the war. 54 children sitting looking at you, 3 to a desk, nobody talked, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, hands up, bells going for every quarter of an hour. You changed the subject. You had a syllabus instead of, well, they call it national curriculum now, but it was in a book. It wasn't a great pile of paper. Started very formally, you might use that word, formally. Then in 1960s, it went the other way. Became a bit chaotic in many places. Then it's gradually swinging back again. Oh dear, did you fall over? Okay. We'll come and find someone, shall we? Come on. We didn't really do very much else but teach. Oh, you're better. You're the one with the bad knee, aren't you? Are you all right now?
And then,
Oh, good lad.
I'm just going to say, she's the best teacher.
We wanted to retire, my husband and I, to the Isle of Wight. So came here, went into the education office, said, do you want any supply teachers? Oh yes, we rely on our retired teachers. We don't know what we'd do without them. Now, I saw this book and I thought, what a lovely book. I started teaching when I was just 20. I ended up with what was the 11 plus class. One of the things which children did, I remember during my first day, reading round the class. Nobody ever does that now. So, is it an elephant?
Yes!
I think children in way back used to expect certain things in school. They had to behave in school. Of course, they had to behave better at home as well. And they would come through the door. You didn't see a parent. The parents left them. They walked into school, sat down. They're prepared to listen. Is he a Labrador dog?
She is such a good teacher. She has a wealth of experience. She's been teaching for a long, long time. She's taught all over the place. And she's just a natural teacher. She's very gifted. She can come in and take any child, any class, work with anybody, and do a good day's work as a teacher.
Right, let's find you a nice pencil.
Sharp one.
Well, I think that's the sharpest one I can find. Okay. I suppose it fulfilled something in me that obviously was in there from the beginning. And it hasn't flown out the window yet. Hold on. Oh, that's even better. Oh, you're quite an artist, aren't you? You know what an artist is? Hey, do you?
Yeah.
I like working with children. I'm interested in children. I'm interested in their development. how they progress, how they think, and I know I can help them.
At the Hayfield Foundation School just south of Doncaster, another senior citizen has put off any thoughts of retirement.
All gone quiet.
Tony Story, OBE, has spent 45 years in education and at 66 is the longest-serving head teacher in the country.
Don't forget, I need, Roger, those things to send for the Briggs today.
Yes, actually, I need to see you about someone else as well.
Well, come in whenever you want to. Yeah, after I've done an assembly. Yeah. It's your job to do your career a positive boost by getting the best grades that you can. It's nobody else's. The only threat is you. The threat is that you don't take the opportunity when it's there. So don't be Mr. or Miss Disaster Zone. Don't be that person who says, it'll be all right on the night. I'm afraid it won't. We want you to succeed. Hopefully you do, and I'm sure you will, if you do what I'm telling you. And I hope you'll do that. Standard. Thank you.
How many times have you given that aspirational...
It's more or less the same time each year, but a slightly different fashion. Roughly about now. And you don't always believe that to take it in, but some of it might be. Hopefully it's followed up down the line. It's quite important that you seem to be around. A never-ending grind of getting them to try to look reasonably smart. No. You won't find the ladies, they don't like you unless you're sartorially elegant. They prefer you to be sartorially elegant. And why have we got this looking something like heavy metal? What's the function?
To keep the trousers up.
I know, well, I realise that, but I mean, what is its symbolism? Is this some sort of heavy rock?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of?
Yeah.
All right, okay, go on.
Tony's been in charge at Hayfield since the school opened in 1971, along with 20 of his original recruits.
I was appointed by what was then the West Riding as the head of a new school which was still being built. So I arrived here in May, June, sitting in a room, which is now my office, with no furniture, one trestle table, one chair, and not even any drawing pins. We opened a week late, but that was because the building wasn't quite ready, rather than the fact that we weren't. And I managed to appoint a staff of 8 permanent, 8 temporary teachers, and 8 supply teachers to keep us going until we could start recruiting properly.
Last summer, Hayfield achieved 64% A to C GCSEs and came top of Doncaster's value-added league table. The school's most recent Ofsted report praised the high quality of leadership.
Education on the surface changes, underneath it remains the same. It's about young people. And young people are basically no different. They have the same foibles, the same motivation problems. The curriculum changes on the surface. The approach to learning gets better because we learn more about better techniques of motivating and teaching youngsters. The subject matter may change. Learning has become more intellectual in the sense it demands more thinking of young people and more thoughtfulness in solving problems than just regurgitating fact. But you still need a basis of fact. You need a fact bank on which to build other things. I like the buzz you get from 1,100 young people who are constantly changing, aged 11 to 18. It keeps you alive, it keeps you full of bounce. I'm never bored because there's always something different.
As when they come out, they go straight onto a bake, onto a cooling wire, please.
Sir, I've done 6, but you can have one because I only need 5.
Do you want me to get some paper towel?
Paper towel, yes, I'll take it upstairs with me. It's kind of you, thanks very much. Right, we'll off with this. Have it at break. Okay. Righto. Okay now. Thank you, Mr. Lord. Acquired a chicken tikka pasty on the way. He's quite a rogue, that one. It could be that I could turn into a fossil and want the school to continuously be what it was 10, 20 years ago. We've got to be proactive now to what's happening in education now, and we must never sit back and say we're continuing to do it this way because we've always done it that way. I don't know what I'm going to find when I open doors. Sometimes it's not the moment and you sort of retreat out.
Because while you're doing that, while you're copying your assignment details, with one piece of work, your very first piece of work, there isn't a level. So just write in that little box on your folio, no level. He tends to come into me quite a lot. Okay. He does walkabouts and he comes into your lesson and joins in with the children. Remember, sometimes in your work, your target is very clear, very direct. I've said it.
Happy birthday. Is it yours today? Does that make you 12?
OK, thanks a lot. It's the kind of school that gives you a buzz. I think it keeps you young. I should be retiring in a year and a bit, but it's a very hard decision to make. I don't think I'll be off as, when it's my time either. There's no way you're going to manage all these young people without having that kind of internal energy. And he's got that. He doesn't seem to flag. He's amazing. And I think he gets that same feeling of satisfaction because he's made this school.
I'm proud of my profession, and I think we need to sell it, and sell it with excitement and not cynicism. We can all moan about the paperwork and all the rest of it, but the heartland is there. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be moaning about the paperwork, because sometimes the paperwork is excessive, sometimes the political correctness of the dialogue is over the top, sometimes we're reinventing the wheel, and these things need saying and need putting in their place, but nevertheless, the job is exciting. So I don't know whether that sounds young at heart or not. As you can pass, don't go on then, yes. I'm going slowly, it's my age. Right.
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round.
Although the official retirement age is 65, most teachers can and do leave at 55. If current trends continue, half of the profession is likely to have left in the next 10 years, so teachers like Mary and Tony will be increasingly in demand.
I think the most inspirational moments I've observed Mary as a teacher is when she's working with the reception class. I mean, she's in her 80s, but she behaves like a reception class child sometimes. I've seen her skipping round the hall with a crocodile of infants just following her, all laughing and enjoying it and fully engaged in it. I've seen her lay on the floor with her legs in the air, pretending to ride a bicycle upside down, and all the children copying her.
Stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. The children on the bus stand up, sit down all day long. Teaching is not something everybody can do or wants to do. But if you do want to teach, you really get some fulfilment, you really do. Yes? Look at me, I'm smiling. All right, off you go. Where's your mummy? There. Hello.
Nice being with you,
Okay.
Jackson.
Oh, thank you. Right, thank you. Yeah, he's got his ring back. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Right. Yes, another enjoyable day.